Hello ladies and gents, it's Spinny Pizzas here with another PES 2018 video. So this time I want to talk to you about negotiating in Master League. Some of the things I want to talk about, so I want to talk about release fees. I want to talk about also the links, the tactical links, what that means. And also some of the players and sort of stats and player skills that you might want to look out for depending on how you want to build your team. Okay, so we're going to go into advanced search, and then we're just going to search for everyone, and then we're going to filter it by overall rating. Okay, so this puts the best players at the top, so Neymar is number 1, Messi's number 2, and so on. So the first one I want to talk to you about is the player links. Okay, and basically what that is you see this here, offensive tactics. So it's saying here that Ronaldo prefers counter-attack. Now I play a possession game, so he's only got 1 bar for possession, so that's going to affect that's going to take a hit on my, providing he's got more favorable tactics that link into mine, will mean that it won't affect my team spirit so much. So I've got short pass, he's got short pass. My attacking area is wide, his attacking area is wide, so that's good. I maintain formation, and that's flexible. So at the minute it's 2-2. Okay, 2 unfavourable, I'd say, and 2 favourable. So going to defensive tactics. So I'm all out defence. He's front line pressure. I'm centre for penning area or containment area, and he's wide and pressuring aggressive, whereas I'm conservative. So that for me, he's going to take. If I signed him and I don't play those tactics to suit him, then he's not going to be a very good fit in my team. Okay, so that's what you're looking for. So you need to know what your attacking styles are, your attacking instructions and defensive instructions are, before you come into the screen. When you're looking to sign players, they will eventually over time adjust to your tactics. You can bring them in slowly, play them in a few games, and eventually, they will adapt. But it will take quite a long time. It's not 2 or 3 games. We're talking, 15, 20 games before they can really settle in. So it's quite important to know that. Okay, so that's the tactical links. Now I want to just talk to you about the release fees. So if you press the your right trigger, or R2, you can see it can flip between chances of signing, overall rating, annual salary, market value, and then you've got release fee. Okay, so if it's 0, it means they haven't got a release fee. But if it's got a price, that's their release fee. And you can say, okay, well, I've only got 20 million, can't afford the release fee for Neymar. But that will bypass whether the club wants to sell him or not. Then it will go down to the player if he wants to come to your team, yes or no. If he does, then chances are you got to pay this release fee, and then you'll get him, regardless of what the club want. And I think they've overdone it with the release fees. Literally everyone's got a release fee, and it's hard to negotiate with your own players by taking out a release fee, because they tend to all want one. I haven't seen any teams take advantage of that at the minute. I'm on my 2nd season, and no one's come in and paid the release fee for any of my players just yet. So I don't know whether the computer will actually do that. Hopefully not. Want to see my team just losing players left, right, and centre. One of the things that I don't like about PES 2018 is the teams. They tend to sell off half their team. Like Liverpool have literally sold everyone. The only thing they've kept is their defensive line, which is a bit ironic, really, isn't it? You know, considering that's the worst part of their team at the minute. So yeah, so that's the release fees that I wanted to talk to you about, and then the last thing I want to talk to you about is each role. So we'll start with the goalie. Okay, so you can search by position. We'll start with goalies first. Okay, so I'm just going to look at the best goalkeeper, which is Neuer apparently. So all you want to do is go straight to this tab. You've got goalkeeping, catching, clearing, reflexes, coverage. So you want those as high as possible, really. I would not, if you want to win the league, you certainly won't want to go much lower than Petacek or Kasper Schmeichel. Yeah, Kasper Schmeichel is probably the absolute minimum, because you need those good stats. There are some keepers down here that have got really good stats. Okay, I mean, you can get away with catching and clearing. Reflexes is good to have, and coverage, and also goalkeeping. So yeah, it's just something to think about. And always look at the form as well. So that determines how often they'll have, or they'll be on form for you. That number doesn't change. It's not a number that, and it ranges from 1 to 7. So 7 being the best, 1 being the worst. So that's something to consider as well. So this guy's got 6, and most of the time he's going to be on form, really happy, and he's going to perform well in goal for you. Whereas if we find someone, 5's not bad, 4, meh, yeah, he's going to have his he's going to be a bit of a good one day, pretty poor the next maybe. So something to consider. Okay, so moving on. To the left back and right backs. Okay, now it does depend how you're going to play your left back and right backs. Now I like to play false fullbacks, so I would want someone, if I'm playing false fullbacks, they move into midfield, so I'd want someone with dribbling, passing. So basically what I do is I go into ability, and then I go, okay, well, I want dribbling, because they need to be able to dribble in midfield. Say about 80. Again, passing, that's kind of important. Not as important as dribbling. Ball control is quite important. Again, receiving the ball, I'll say about 75. And then you want explosive power. So that's basically explosive power is basically agility. Okay, so you want them to be quite agile. Okay, so if I was playing false fullbacks, that's probably the stats I would look for. Then I'd search that and see what comes back. So you can see there, Alaba, Marcello. Okay, now if I was playing, oops, didn't mean to do that. If I was playing, say, attacking wing backs, okay, so they're going to be really wide. Then one of the things I would really like is the player skill, and that's pinpoint crossing. This is really, if you do a lot of crossing, then I recommend choosing a left back or right back with pinpoint crossing. Also, I noticed when I select the position, you've got this and or. Okay, so if it's selected and, that means they have to be able to play left back and right back. If you select or, it means you'll look for a left back or a right back that has pinpoint crossing. Okay, if I put and, I'm looking for a left back and a right back, and they need to be able to play both positions, and they both need to be able to have and they also need pinpoint crossing. So always select or if you're looking for a left back and a right back, not one player to cover both positions. Okay, just so I let you know that. That's more if you're looking for a player who plays in many positions. Okay, so there we go. So we look at the left back and right back. One of my favourite players is Alex Grimaldo. You can see I signed him already. He's got good explosive power. He's good at dribbling. His passing's okay, and he's also got pinpoint crossing. So I can flick between using false fullbacks or attacking fullbacks, and I know he can do a good job for me. And he's really agile, so he's really good. You know, someone like Rodriguez is probably better as a false fullback than an attacking fullback because he's not got the pace. You can see there he's only got 35 speed. Now, if I was playing attacking fullbacks, I'd want someone pretty quick. You know, 83 is the minimum. Someone like Mendy. But yeah, it all depends how you play. Whether you want to run down the wing with your fullbacks, or whether you're going to be a patient build-up, which means they don't really need speed to get across in. So again, it's down to you. But you know, pinpoint crossing is definitely something I go for. Now, when it comes to centre backs, I like to go for height. So you don't want any midgets in your defence, especially if you're playing the Premier League. And I'd probably go for 185 as the minimum, and then filter by the best, and then sort of just look to see who's got a good chance of signing. Sometimes if I'm happy with my defenders and I just want to back up, then I'll just lower the age. You know, look for someone young. This, you know, Rudiger, Tar's very, very good. He you know, he'll go up to about a 90 by the time he's 26, 27. Sanchez is also very good, much like similar build to Bailey. So yeah, I mean, that's very good. Ball winning 91. He's not the quickest, 70. If you play a high line, that's something to think about having speed in your defenders to get back, because else one long ball over the top and you're not going to catch the striker. So that's just something to think about as well. Okay. Yeah, moving on. Defensive midfielder. I think the most important thing, again, I would go for height, because when they have goal kicks, it's important to win the ball back quite quickly. I struggle. I would say 180 would be good enough for a midfielder. And then the key stat here is our defensive prowess is pretty good to have. That means they'll stay back, they won't run forward. And also ball winning, that's very important. If they've got not very good at ball winning, there's no point having a defensive midfielder, because they'll just walk through you. Okay, so you can see there, you know, you get a real good combative midfielder, Matic and Zonzi, two of my favourites. Bakayoko's alright. Where's the other guy I was looking for? Oh gosh. And Zonzi, he plays for Seville. I can't think of his name right now. Casemiro is very good. Might not be able to get him. Dyer, I'm not overly impressed with. Abora, that's it. Abora. Oh, he's at Swansea. He's at Swansea at the minute, but I think in the game he starts at Seville. I'm pretty sure he plays for Seville. Reason I like him, he's tall, you know, 190 centimeters. He's got good physical contact, good ball winning. He's much in the similar build to Matic. He's also got good passing, so he's a good signing as well. Okay, so that's defensive midfield. Centre midfield. Now I still like a bit of height if possible with the centre midfielders, but it's not as important really as depends again how you want to build your team, whether you want to do passes, whether you want them to run with the ball. What do you want from them? See, I find Cruz, who's very highly rated, to be really poor because he's got low explosive power, so low agility, and he's not very quick, so he's not very mobile. I like to have mobile players, so I'd probably go for someone like Nanglin. He's very good. You know, also got good ball winning, and that's another thing I like to have in my players across the midfield. Looking at Pogba, you know, he's got very good agility. Well, he's got good agility, not very good agility, but he's got a great shot on him. And you've just got to have Pogba, haven't you, really? Kevin De Bruyne, very good player. Again, not too bad in the agility. I wouldn't go anything below 75 for speed and explosive power as a central midfielder. Fabregas, too slow again. Don't like Pjanic much. Again, too slow. Coke, slow, but he's got fairly decent agility. Kind of like him. Fabinho's been brilliant as a defensive midfielder, by the way. And he's young as well. Going back to defensive midfielders. Other midfielders I like. Yeah, I'm pretty hard to please when it comes to midfielders. Dembele, before he gets a bit old. His speed's dropped now because he's aging. Yeah, I say the central midfielder central midfield position is hard for me to. It's hard to please me. Tolisso, I quite like the look of him. He's got good overall stats, very sort of good stats, but not great in any area of his game. Renato Sanchez, by far the best midfielder in the game, if you ask me. He's got really good agility, speed, good at ball winning, good at dribbling. Okay, his passing's not great, his shooting's not great, but you know, just to get in and around the box, move the ball quickly, run with the ball. You know, as long as he's not playing in the final cross, you know, you don't want. That's the thing with PES. You don't just want to cross with anyone. You want to cross with your best crosser, the person who's got the best lofted pass, the best person with the pinpoint crossing. If you're doing through balls, you want the best person with the low pass. You know, in the 90s, you want them to execute whatever you want to do in the best possible way. So that's something to take into account. Okay, so that's centre midfield. Right or left midfield. I would go with someone tricky, personally, because I like my tricks. So scissor feints. It would just do that for the time being. And if we skip all the usual suspects, Neymar, Hazard, Sanchez, you know most of these people. Now I would probably look further down the list. If I didn't have a good squad, you know, Zaha's got loads of tricks. If you look at his, oh, he's not got that many in this game. In the previous game, he had like that many. Wow, that's pretty good. But he's 30 years old. Yeah, so El Shaarawy. You know, you can just go down the list looking at the skills like this, but one of my favourites is Rafa Silva and Muniain. He's not got many skills, but he was very good in 2017. As was Cabela, but he's more of an attacking midfielder. Bruma's very quick, but no end product. Same for Musa, really. So it's all very well having the ability to run down the wing, but if you can't cross, then is there any point to it? Toure looks like he's a free transfer here, but yeah, he is. I might have to just add him to my list and sign him because he's very good. But yeah, so the left and right winger, I'd make sure you got dribbling, explosive power, maybe speed, as long as it's 80 above. But the higher that explosive power, the better, because you'll be able to do like jinking runs, like I do with Dybala, if you've seen some of my videos. And lofted pass and pinpoint crossing. If you're going to cross the ball a lot, then that's going to be vital. For me personally, I'd probably just go with speed, explosive power, dribbling, maybe ball control, and basically just jink my way in and drill across into the box or pass it back out and around the box. So that's the sort of stats I would probably look for. But again, it depends on your style of play. So attacking midfielder. So if we look at what's the important stats now, I would advise against playing attacking midfielder unless you're playing 4-5-1. The reason for that is because I find teams get cut open too easily, especially if you play 4-3-3 with an attacking midfielder. You will get exploited quite easily. That's what I've found against Superstar anyway. So I don't tend to play an attacking midfielder, but if you are, then the abilities I would look for, again, dribbling, low pass, explosive power, speed not so much because you're going to be playing in the hole, so speed's not important, but having explosive power, strength on the ball might be useful, physical contact, maybe, yeah, those are the ones I would definitely go for. So again, close, tight control, you know, sort of Ozil build, or Zola, you know, some of the greats that have played that position. Left and right wing forward, much the same as left and right midfielder. Second striker, so second striker, I would probably go, you know, again, it depends what sort of player you want. But most of the SSs are like quite tricky players, like Dybala, he's by far my favourite. He's better than Griezmann, if you ask me. Let's have a look at some more SSs. See what we've got down the list. Muller, he's more of a, yeah, he's like a bit like a fox in the box. It says dummy runner, but I think he'd be better suited as someone who sort of arrives in the box late. And as for centre forward, I prefer target man, simply because of the way I play. I like to build up a slow, patient build up. So a big target man like Lukaku, Ibrahimovic, Higuain, Suarez is sort of like a target man. Ronaldo, Lewandowski, Costa, Kane, you know, Cavani, those big sort of builds, Benzema. The list is endless really for the target men. Icardi. Okay, so any of those really. I'm not one for like Mbappe. Mbappe is really, really good in this game. But unless I was playing counter-attack, then that's what, you know, that he's you know, counter-attack absolutely suits him down to the ground. But not so much the possession where I'm building up and knocking it in the box and hoping to maybe get a headering goal or something. So with the target man, it gives me that diversity of, you know, what do I want to do. So really happy with Lukaku at the minute. So yeah, that's my little talk about the different types of positions, signings that you can make, and also the key skills that you're probably going to be looking for. Again, with the striker, you're probably looking at you know, acrobatic finishing. It's quite useful. You know, if they're off balance, it helps them, which they will be in the box. Heel tricks, more like flicks, you know, literally shooting off your heel, not too important. One touch pass is useful for your midfielders. Weighted pass again for your midfielders. Pinpoint crossing for either your left and right wing or your left and right back. Outside curler is a bit fancy. Rabone is fancy. Low lofted pass, that's also useful for your defensive midfielder or central midfielders. Low punt trajectory is useful for your goalie, as is long throws for your throw-ins. Goalkeeper long throw is also useful for your goalies if you want to launch it out. Militia enables players to win free kicks. Excuse me. When on the ball. Man marking, useful for your defenders if you want to man mark someone. So that's definitely quite an important stat. Track back, you know, if you want a certain player to work hard and track back, then that's that. I wouldn't go for that, to be honest. Not bothered. Acrobatic clear, quite useful. I think Lindelof's got it for me this year, and when he starts, and I've seen him numerous times do some unbelievably acrobatic clearances. So, but then at times he's just sort of like watched the ball go over his head a bit too often for my liking, because he's not paying attention. His defensive prowess is lacking, I think. Captaincy, so that helps lead the team when you give them the captain's armband. Super sub, obviously coming on the sub, they get like an extra boost to their stats. And fighting spirit basically helps them perform better under pressure and fatigue. So yeah, that's pretty much it. All these here, from scissors feint to Scotch move, are all skill moves, different types of skills that you can perform, and that will help perform the actual skill. Okay. Heading is pretty self-explanatory. Long range drive is for shooting. Knuckle shot, so this is when you press the shoot button, and then just before he kicks the ball, you want to tap the shoot again. You have to be pretty much lined up. You can't do it like when you're facing the wrong direction or anything like that. You have to be lined up on the target in quite a straight, you're sort of facing the goal, and then you just tap so you build up the shot power. I'd recommend quite powerful, and then just as he's about to kick it, tap it again, and you'll know when you've done the knuckle shot because of the way he strikes the ball and how the ball can sometimes move all over the place. So that's the knuckle shot. Okay, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If there's anything you want me to go through again, then let me know. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.